Hello, Lakers fans. This is Wilson. As always, I'm joined by the great Shane Christopher Murray, Jason Big Mitch Mitchell, and David Gowers is with us again tonight. How you guys doing tonight?
Being copacetic.
All right, good. So it's Tuesday night. Yesterday on Christmas, the Lakers lost to the Celtics in Game Two of Darvin Ham's wacky lineup experiment. Basically saying, okay, we'll take LeBron and AD and put our three most mediocre players in the start. Our three most mediocre rotation players in the starting lineup with them, and see what happens. And it resulted in actually. I mean, I don't want to say it resulted because I know Mitch disagrees with that, but we did beat the Thunder with that lineup on Saturday, but yesterday it didn't work against the Celtics, and so we lost that one. So we beat last week. We were saying what was going to happen uh, in those next three games before the Christmas game, right? And so what happened? We lost to
Me too.
Chicago, lost to Chicago, lost to Minnesota. Hey, Dice. And then we actually beat OKC, and so we did 1-2, and then we lost to the Celtics yesterday. So we're going to get into all that, and then Mitch had this thing that he saw on social media, which was who would we take in their prime rather, prime Kyrie, prime Westbrook, or prime D Rose, and then at the end we might get into the Dr. Umar thing that went viral today, where he was on Joe Budden's podcast, stuff he was saying about Eminem. So without further ado, who wants to start uh, and just kind of get into Mitch, Darvin Ham, this lineup, any potential trades, anything, whatever, man. The floor is yours.
This roster has everything it needs already. The fact that we're talking about any types of trades, I think that points directly back at Darvin Ham. Feels like I've been, a Laker fan long enough to understand that as soon as AD came out in the media and was like, "Oh, Saturday against the Thunder, it's a must-win game," I already knew we were going to lose on Christmas. I already knew it. I already knew it. I knew that they were going to put all their effort into Saturday and have a letdown, on Monday. Um, as a diehard Laker fan who bleeds purple and gold, the fact that these, except for AD, because AD played hard, but the fact that that LeBron didn't show up to work to play the Celtics, the fact that he didn't take it serious, it really bugs me like no other. I get it. He's a family man and he's 39. He's been in the league for 21 seasons and this is his 18th Christmas. But I mean, damn man, this is the job. Like if you're not up for it anymore, I mean, like retire, right? Like this is the job. Um, the only good part about playing on Christmas, I mean, you get an automatic like 2 days off after Christmas. So you still you get a little bit of time with your family. After maybe not obviously not the full Christmas day, but you get a little bit of time after. But again, this is the job, this is the schedule, this is the life. It's nothing new. You're obviously, if anything, you should cherish it even more because he's obviously closer to the end than the beginning. So he should cherish these are some of his last Christmas Day games. These are some of the last times that he can match up with the Celtics being a Laker. Obviously, he's, within the next however many years, he'll retire. And, I don't want him to kind of, look back and be like, damn, wish I would have went a little bit harder. Um, so that annoyed me about LeBron not taking the Celtics serious. Darvin Ham. Listen. I'm tired. I'm tired of his nonsense. How do you understand basketball and trot out that starting lineup? Like Antho alluded to, no, I don't think the OKC game was a success. I don't think it proved anything. Mainly because you look at that starting lineup, you're like, that's not going to work. I don't think it worked. We won the game, sure, but how? AD had to play 41 minutes. LeBron had to put up 40 points just for us to win by, what do we end up winning by, 9? Like, come on, man. That's not a success because that's not a recipe. That's not a long-term solution. It's not a long-term solution. Listen, Cam and Vando, they're damn near the same player. You can't have two guys like that in your starting lineup. It's true. It's true. Now, I think that Vando has a higher ceiling on defense, and he was supposed to be working on his jumper in the off season. So I would love to see him start knocking down some shots. That's what he was supposed to work on. It was funny during the broadcast yesterday. You heard Doc say about, "Hey girl, quiet down." You heard Doc say about Cam Reddish, he's an improved defender. He's a good defender. When he was talking about Vando, he's saying he's an elite defender. So it just goes back to what I've been harping on. Like, why is Cam Reddish getting all these minutes more than Vando? I think Vando's the better option. I think Rui is a better option. I think Cam's minutes need to evaporate. I think he needs to be playing like 15 minutes a game, something like that. Like I said, just come in and just kind of wreak havoc. He loves to kind of, try to steal the ball off the inbounds. So I mean, come in 15 minutes, play hard. Because ever since he got in the starting lineup, he had that really good 5-game stretch. After that, he came back down to earth. Like, he is who he is, and he's not. He's just, man. He's not a 30-minute a night guy that we can rely on. When, like, bro, AD and Bron, they need help. It's super frustrating. We need to change this lineup. Our starting line, like, if he was gonna change the starting lineup, it should have been D'Lo, Vando, Prince, Bron, and AD. But even that, I mean, I'm down to change it to D'Lo, Vando, Rui, Bron, and AD. If not Rui, Austin. Like, something definitely does have to change, but I don't know. I'm tired of Darvin's nonsense, basically. Tired.
I think we all are. I'm starting to realize that this guy, Darvin Ham, might not know anything about coaching. I don't think this man knows what he's doing at all.
He's just throwing stuff up against the wall at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's like, I mean, like I said, we watched Phil Jackson, man. Phil Jackson wasn't changing the lineup 15 different times. This man, Darvin Ham, has a different lineup and a different rotation every couple games,
Okay. I'm not a fan of everything Darvin does. He's on my shit list, but y'all have to keep in mind he's a second-year head coach. He doesn't have a head coach. He doesn't have an assistant coach with head coaching experience on his staff.
Now, whose fault is that?
That's the organization's fault. They didn't. He basically did what they had a problem with Luke Walton doing, but because his assistant coaches came from an NBA team, they let it ride. But it's the same thing Luke Walton did. He basically hired his homeboys. So,
but at least Luke's homeboys were head coaches at some point.
No, they wasn't.
Who was on Luke's? Who was on Luke's
Judge
staff?
Bushler was the volleyball coach at the time.
Yeah.
Who else?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Frank Vogel. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel. They made Frank Vogel hire head coaches as assistants because of Luke Walton. They could stick with that same routine, but they didn't. They let Darvin pick his staff, and he basically picked all his assistant coaches he came up in the ranks with. They didn't have any head coach experience.
Yeah, you're right.
They kept Phil Handy because he was a hangover and he had experience with Phil Handy. So
yeah,
but in terms of everything, I'm not gonna say the victory against OKC wasn't a success. Anytime you could beat a top seeded team in the West, a win's a win. And at this point, every win counts in the West. Like we went from the 5th seed to the 10th seed in 2 weeks. So this to show you how the West is. And I hate the lineup just like everybody else. I understand what he was trying to do, which was try to lean into the defense even more. But
how'd that work out so far?
I hate it. I don't agree with it. If you're going to use D'Lo and Austin off the bench, which I don't agree with, but if you're going to use them, you got to put them in situations they can succeed in. Like putting D'Lo in and with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, where he basically been sitting most of the half and expecting to get buckets, it's not going to happen.
It's tough.
Like, you got to get a rhythm like everybody else, and he's a bang shooter. So to ask him to just jack up shots with 4 minutes left in the half, and he's been sitting all game, it's not a recipe for success. And it's a puzzling season for me because he basically brought back everybody that went to the conference finals with us, except for Schroeder. And at our best, we can compete with everybody, but we can't sustain it enough offensively or do enough offensively to sustain that effort. Whether that's, we could say he's not putting people in the right spots, which is about 60% of it. You know how hard it is. We don't have a lot of people making shots other than Taurean Prince. So
Taurean Prince been knocking down shots lately.
So we can make trades, but it's just like it's hard to do a trade where it improves us offensively but doesn't hurt us defensively, and don't hurt our depth. Now this Dejounte Murray rumor,
your cousin,
that's a likely trade, just because all the coaches on his staff, Darvin's staff, come from Atlanta. So with trades, like it's about making the right trade, but it's also about the team you're trading with and who you have a relationship with. And being that the staff already has a relationship with Atlanta, being a former Atlanta coaches, and it's a cheaper route to go other than Levine. Like, you might be able to pull Dejounte Murray, Clint Capella, maybe another shooter, or Dejounte Murray could compare maybe Bogdanovich, who they were interested in getting the last trade deadline, but they ran out of time. So Zach LaVine is still an option, but I feel like there should be a last resort. And anything we know about Rob Pelinka in the past is he's gonna search every little stone unturned to make sure if there's a deal can be made, it can be made. But it's just like, I feel like he's got to be careful not to give up too much, just to make us marginally better, if you will.
Jarvis?
The saddest thing about all of this is last week, if we were to know what transpired throughout the whole week, would we be surprised? No. Stupid lineups, losses, not showing up in the big game. It happens. The only thing I'm surprised is, what 3 games were LeBron not on Christmas? That he was that he's 21 years in the league and he's only played 18 games. I wonder what 3 games. That was the only thing I was surprised about the whole week.
So he did. So they had him his rookie year, 2003, and then he didn't play again till 2007 on Christmas. Probably because the Cavs sucked.
Probably, but it was LeBron. But the thing is, now as far as I can remember, during the Kobe, Shaq, Kobe, Gasol, we never relied on the bench to win games.
No,
they would show, like we're talking about Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, D'Lo, who's other Vanderbilt. We never said when Kobe and Shaq were winning the three-peats, oh man, fucking Robert Horry got to step up, or Rick Fox, or it was more like, hey, they hit the big shots, all right, cool. But we never relied on them to actually win the games. Wow. So this is all like, it's NBA, bro. It's a star-driven league. That's why LeBron and AD get paid the big bucks. Now, LeBron is 39, so I don't think he cares about Christmas games, because nobody at the end of the day is going to say, well, he won against the Celtics on Christmas. It's going to be, well, what did he do in the playoffs? I really think they're just trying to get through the season uninjured and just avoid the play-in if they can, which doesn't look like they will. But at least, if there's one thing, I think I said it before, is at least we can give Rob Pelinka the benefit of the doubt that he will make some trades. He's just gotta not, because he's like kind of stuck where it's like, okay, this is LeBron's maybe his last best year. Do we go all in to try to win? Because Denver doesn't look like they're the same team. West is wide open. So do you go all in for Levine or Murray or DeMar? But DeMar's not a good fit. I know he's on the trading block, but you'd just be trading for the name at that point. But yeah, man, I think they're just trying to get through the season, not hurt.
And I hear you in terms of getting through the season, but the whole point of bringing this team back was because they'll have continuity, and they'll have a training camp to get them off to a fast start to get a top seed, so we can avoid, a major playoff matchup.
Even Darvin Ham was like, oh, LeBron's going to pay 33 to 34. They can barely win. He's playing 40 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
40. They can barely win.
And I knew there was a chance we were going to lose to Boston as soon as LeBron said he didn't care about Christmas, or he cared about his daughter opening gifts, which is cute to say at the time, but bruh, again, this is why I say you can't make him a Laker legend. Like, he does not care.
Yeah, keep that kind of stuff to yourself.
Yeah,
he does not care about what the Lakers care about.
This has nothing to do with on the court, but this is why people will always gravitate more towards Jordan, and even Kobe. Is like, you never heard Kobe say, oh man, I can't wait for my daughters to open. Nah, he'd be like, the hell with the Celtics. I'm trying to kill them on Christmas.
Exactly.
And so he makes these, like, if they would have lost, it's like, all right, cool, but you don't.
Now imagine if Westbrook said that.
Yeah.
People would be killing Westbrook.
That's true. They did. Like, we saw it in real time.
So for LeBron to call him a historian of the game, as a Laker, with Laker fans, you come to Boston, you don't say, oh, we don't care about Boston. Oh, we don't care about playing Boston. Like, yeah, even if you're a sorry team, you want your wins to be against Boston.
Honestly, and the Clippers. Boston and the Clippers. That's the two teams.
So I don't know if I'll ever forgive LeBron for saying that. Just as, purely speaking as a Laker fan.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you can't put him as a Laker legend.
You don't care about playing the Celtics?
And
on Christmas?
When he when in the playoffs last year, I felt like, because this was the first, remember the playoffs last year, that was the first time since LeBron's been here that we had fans in the stands, right? And so the first series against Memphis, when Dylan Brooks was talking his trash, and you can see the crowd, the crowd. We rallied behind LeBron, and you can start to kind of feel like, man, maybe LeBron really is becoming a Laker. But then when he says something like that, it just goes to show that he doesn't get it, Like
You
think
you
about the
could
way.
you could say that playing for any team in the league except the Lakers. You
Yeah.
could even as a Knick, you could say that because you could say that as a Cleveland, but you can especially when everything's Kobe here and you're trying. Now I don't know how much he cares about winning over LA. I really don't think he cares because he has no ties to LA.
He probably doesn't.
But have you guys seen real quick that rookie from Miami, and he's making a lot of noise because the Lakers.
Jaquez.
Yeah, Jaquez, because they picked Hood, whatever his last name is.
Yeah,
one
Hood
pick.
Schifino.
Oh man, and everybody was saying that they didn't pick him because he was a 4-year starter at UCLA. Like, what does that have to do with
The
that?
dude's a hooper. Watched him all 4 years.
Well,
at UCLA.
NBA, I guess, outlook, however you want to call it, they look at 4-year starters and frown upon them because, like, if you're an elite player in college, most of the elite players come out between 1 or 2 years.
Listen,
so 4 years, I mean, it's got to be something wrong with you.
But that's
or
a myth.
Whatever that is.
That's a myth now. Because look at there's like I think the Warriors have like 2 really good players that were 3-4 year starters, really good players that are becoming like very contributors. But I mean, the best players in the league. I mean, LeBron and KD and AD, they're kind of like, they're the exception.
Right.
But look at Steph Curry, 3 years. James Harden, 3 years when he was at his best. Chris Paul.
But my thing is this too, like the Tommy Jaquez, the what's his name, the Cam Winslow, whatever, from who went 20, like they're doing good at the teams they're at, but will they get?
No. Hold on. Because that was my point. I'm the one that said that. Don't try to steal my shine. I told you that. Don't try to steal my whole fucking flow, word for word, bar for bar.
What are you talking about?
What you were about to say? Hold on. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna say it. I said it. You're stealing my flows.
Go ahead.
Basically, what I was telling Shane Murray is like, hey, even if we would have picked Jaime Jaquez Jr., Darvin would have had his ass buried on the bench.
He would have sent him to the G League.
He would have sent him to the G League. He'd be like a 2-way player. He'd be buried on the bench. He might not be doing, what he's doing. Is the crazy part.
Could have been so perfect, man. A hometown kid went to UCLA.
Right? He fell to us. Oh man. And watch, years down the line, it's gonna be like, oh man, we should pick up Jaime Jaquez. No, man, we should have drafted his ass. What the Jesus?
Hey, you ain't gonna want him in because we have bad luck with Miami players after a few years.
Oh man, listen, Lamar came from Miami. Don't forget
that's the only one. Well, not Coron Butler. Now let me take that back.
Exactly. Come on, man, stop that.
Recently, I'll put it like that. Recently.
Don't do that.
Kendrick Nunn, now Gabe Vincent.
But we didn't really expect much from them, though. Like, yeah, they didn't pan out, but I mean, when they signed Gabe Vincent, did we think that's the missing link?
Shane Murray did.
No, a lot of people was talking about Gabe starting over D'Lo when he came here. That was a big training camp debate. Who was going to start between Vando and Rui, and who was going to start between D'Lo and Gabe?
How did we get here? How did we get here relying on Cam Reddish to play 30 minutes?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like we've never relied on role players to win games. But like Cam, like I said, these guys, if they were on that Kobe Gasol team or the Kobe Shaq team, it would have.
Cam Reddish would not have survived Kobe. Ain't no damn way. Cam Reddish would not have survived Kobe. Ain't no damn way. Kobe would have treated his ass like.
We never relied on Sasha to win his games or.
But he did in Game 7.
Free throws, but
the machine.
Yeah, I think that was the thing is that it's like back then, right? When we had Shaq and Kobe, once they started to click and we got Phil, and yeah, I always felt like we had the best collection of role players any team has ever had. So Fisher, Fox, Ori, Brian Shaw, Ron Harper, Horace Grant, AC Green. I mean, those are some of the best role players that have most accomplished role players who've ever played. But
Definitely.
yeah, at the same
but
time,
we never relied on them.
Exactly.
Like
that's what,
even when David George was like really good, and good enough to earn him a pretty decent contract for that time, we never said, "Hey, we lost because Devin George fucking blew the game."
Exactly.
Or
but
we never like.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I think that the reason is that the league is so much deeper with talent now. You know, when we had Shaq and Kobe, it was almost like, bro. I mean, that was, and once Phil got here and they were like, Kobe, kind of became of age and Shaq was in his prime, it almost kind of took care of itself, But there's, back then there was only like, but there were like a few teams every year who maybe had an outside chance, or like one team had a real shot and everybody else had like an outside chance of even competing with us. But now there are so many good teams and so many good players. That's why you see, like, remember when the West would be so stacked that everybody would win 50 games? It's like now it's like, how many teams are going to it's going to be maybe a couple teams in the West will win 50 games and maybe a couple in the East. It's like the NBA has achieved parity like the NFL, and I don't know if it's good, because if you look at the history of the NBA has always been, run by dominant teams, from the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Celtics in the 80s, the Celtics in the 60s, Lakers and Celtics in the 80s, Bulls 90s, Shaq and Kobe Lakers, Tim Duncan. It was always like that through the Warriors, and now it's not like that anymore. And I don't know if the league is better for it.
I don't have a problem with the parity, because that means you gotta bring your game every night. Like in the past, you could say, "Oh, we playing the Grizzlies, we could sit this one out." We don't have to play our best. But now, like, even if you play Houston, you gotta bring your A, or else they gonna whoop your ass.
And when Durant went to the Warriors for 3 years, we already knew they was gonna win. There was
like you can't really say it anymore. Even with Spurs, even though they lost as many games they lost, you still gotta be like, "Oh, Wemby playing. Okay, I gotta play my best, or you gonna embarrass my ass."
It's nobody really other than, I guess. I mean,
the only team who can really look like that is Detroit. Detroit's like, you don't have to play your best with Detroit.
Detroit's like a free square on a bingo card.
Yeah. Like, everybody else is like, you got to bring your A, or else you ain't winning.
Yeah.
Out of the record.
And what's weird is I feel like Detroit might actually have, I don't know what Monty Williams is doing, because I feel like they might actually have better players than like Washington and San Antonio do.
The thing is, they're getting everybody's A game, because nobody wants to lose to that Detroit team. They getting every. And Wilson, you should bet on the Pistons to lose. That way they can win.
Oh yeah, right. That's a good one, Calvin.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. Darvin Ham struggling out there, man, and it's getting towards, we're past the 25 game mark. What are we? Are we 16 and 15 or 15 and 14?
16 and 15.
16 and 15, man.
Do you think LeBron has anything to do with the backstage politics with who plays, who doesn't, or who?
Cam Reddish is a Clutch client, so I mean, maybe that has something to do with it.
I keep telling you, Darvin used to coach Cam, so that's what it is. The whole coaching staff comes from Atlanta. Cam's main best year, or one of his best years, was in Atlanta.
Bitch, let me ask you this: if they completely take Reddish off the playing, whatever, are they better?
Yes.
What's better? Like, better, couple wins better?
We're back to being title contenders.
He's that bad, huh?
It's not.
Listen, real, bro.
No. Listen, it's really not that he's that bad. It's more so It more so has to do with the fact that we made it to the Western Conference Finals. We literally brought back all the core pieces of that Western Conference Finals team. So it makes no sense to me that we're this bad. So what's changed? Cam Reddish is eating up the bulk of the minutes for rotational pieces.
I'll tell you one thing too also.
Probably, are really this bad, or we just hit a bad part of the schedule?
No, bro, they're not taking. Listen, it doesn't seem it's it's kind of a mixture actually. It's bad lineups. It's the mental space of the team. Maybe they're spent after spending all that energy on the in-season tournament. It's kind of everything. And then you got a guy like Cam Reddish. He's not the answer.
Here you go, Cam.
But bro, I don't understand. Wasn't Darvin the one that came out maybe last season and said that he doesn't believe that injury is a reason you should lose your job?
But at the same time, what is Vando giving?
But didn't he say that?
He did say that.
Wouldn't Vando give us the same, if not more, than Cam Reddish?
What is he giving?
But wouldn't Vando give us the same, if not more, than Cam Reddish?
Defense it equals out offense. No.
You don't think that Vando would give the same or more than Cam Reddish?
Not on offense.
You don't think so?
No.
That's a damn lie. Stop playing with me.
Name a time you saw Vando hit a jumper this season.
He hasn't hit a jumper this season yet.
My point exactly. What is he giving you on offense? That's the problem.
He's given he's still trying to get his sea legs a little bit on offense.
And that's the other problem. Like, you want him to play X amount of minutes, but he's not there yet physically.
His jumper's not there yet, but
no, he's not there physically either.
You know what? Something else I was thinking about is that when we made that run in the conference final, we have to move on in a second. But when we made that run in the conference finals last year, it was based on the defense, and I just think that the type of, because it was based on basically AD closing off the basket, and I just think the type of defense that he was playing in the playoffs and made that run possible. I don't know if as an individual or as a team, if that's not the type of defense you play during the regular season, because there's not enough focus and intensity and energy to play like that night to night on defense. I don't feel.
But I also think that Cam Reddish isn't that type of defender that Vando is. Like, Vando's more of he's gonna play solid defense, and he's also more athletic to where he's able to maybe meet you at the rim.
Let me ask you this.
Ain't doing that.
Let me ask you this.
Cam Reddish ain't meeting nobody at the rim.
Let me ask you this. As far as your hate meter goes, who do you hate more, Cam or Max Christie?
Cam Reddish, easily.
Okay, so you prefer to see Max than Cam?
Listen, Max Christie needs to be exactly where he is, on the bench. Is Max Christie a good player, though? Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, man said okay. All right, but
if we have injuries and Max Christie needs to play some minutes, yes, he's good enough to come in. But no, he all things being equal, everybody being healthy, Max Christie needs to be exactly
it's
where
actually showing how much we miss Dennis Schroeder, to be honest.
I was just about to say that, man.
Why? Because then Dennis Schroeder would be eating up all the damn minutes and not Cam Reddish. We'd be
Dennis was a point of attack defender, and he averaged at least 6 free throws a game. As much as you don't want to admit it, you got to give him his props. What he did, especially what he did to the Olympics this summer.
It's kind of like Juju.
What's that got to do with us?
It's kind of like Juju with the Chiefs. It's like everybody says Juju is so bad, but if Juju's so bad, why the Chiefs suck so bad without him?
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, man, the Lakers, who knows? Hopefully they'll figure it out. But
they won't. Well,
Huh?
Well, the trade deadline's in a month now, or a little over a month.
I'm talking about trades, man. We got the pieces on this team already.
Oh,
We made it to the Western Conference Finals. All those pieces are still here. Darvin's not putting the pieces in the right places.
I mean, even with those pieces, I think we need a more offensively, but it's not worth losing
Who's the
on defense.
Who's the one that was telling us the stat? The team that made the Western Conference Final, that rotation, they've only played 1 minute together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. A team that made the Western Conference Finals, and you have all those pieces. They played 1 minute together.
Well, the main reason is, whatever the reason, people have a problem with D'Lo and Austin Reeves playing together.
I just
specifically on defense.
I don't understand why Darvin just can't play for meaningful long minutes. D'Lo and Reeves in the backcourt, Rui at the 3,
right?
AD and LeBron.
According to the numbers, D'Lo and Austin are horrible together on defense. That's why they ain't playing together no more.
Nobody plays defense anymore, though. They could outscore them.
That's my thing too. But if you go to Fox Sports Net, whatever, their whole narrative is D'Lo and Austin can't play together on defense. So you got to split them up.
Cam Reddish straight
up, a bag of peanuts
for an unhappy Kevin Durant. and there'll be Laker fans that be like, "Yeah, bro, let's do it."
They'll be like, I don't know, man. They might have to give us a pick too.
They might have to give us book. They might have to give us book, man, if we're gonna give up.
Bro, trade Cam Reddish for Caruso right now. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Cool. Hey, look, we got 2 more games this week. Thursday is against the Hornets at home, and Saturday is against Minnesota in Minnesota. What's our record looking like?
0-2, baby.
0-2, so even lose to the
2-0.
I appreciate your optimism.
If LeBron plays both games 2-0, because
we almost beat Minnesota.
Yeah, they almost beat Minnesota without LeBron.
Yeah, almost don't count. We took an L.
I think we'll go 1-1. But let's
I think we'll go 1-1. I think we'll go 1-1 as well. We'll probably beat Charlotte and win and lose again to the Wolves.
Also in the Charlotte game, you ain't probably on camera, but
are they playing
look out for a dude named Nick Smith. That's a name everybody keeps bringing up as far as like a backup center option. So,
all right,
just want to put that out there.
We got to get to. Go ahead, Galvis, quickly.
No, I was just gonna say real quick, the fact that we can't even very confidently say 2-0, sad.
That's bad. I do think we'll beat the Hornets. So the Hornets.
I mean, I'm sure we probably will, but it's not like
it's not a given. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if I dare Darvin to start that same lineup on Thursday.
I doubt he's gonna change it. Be honest.
Okay.
Especially with no Melo.
Yeah, I doubt he changes it. 2 games into his little experiment, but yeah.
It could also be that these players just don't give a F, bro. They make so much money. They live in LA. They're probably smashing the baddest broads out there. Money can buy.
Max Christie out there getting some.
Bro, he's
ugly as hell.
They're making so much money for us to really sit here and dissect this about what they're doing, what they're not doing. I mean, they really just don't care, bro. Not like they used to.
Hey, did you hear about Shane's boy Max Christie? What he did to one of those Instagram girls?
No.
Oh my gosh, Max Christie a fool. He was talking to one of these Instagram girls, and he goes, "Hey, Miss Instagram model, hey, when you get here, I've only got about an hour, so can we just get into it when you get here?" Max Christie is an animal.
She exposes DMs or what?
She was getting interviews on some other influencer interviewing her or something, and her homegirl said the story for her.
Well, at least he ain't in no Edward situation.
We don't know. He probably could be. The way he talked to that Instagram girl, you don't think that Max Christie fits the type to be doing that type of stuff?
Not with his money right now. If he had money, yeah.
As long as he don't do what Dwight Howard did, we good.
All right, now.
Well, that's the whole other thing.
You're right, guys. What I'm saying. On that note, I think we should move on because we need to get into this thing, Mitch, that quickly because we got to talk about Dr. Umar too. We only got about 20 minutes left, which is okay. So the D-Rose, the thing was right. It was who would we rather have in our prime, right, Mitch? Prime,
right?
In their prime, prime D-Rose, prime Kyrie, or prime Westbrook, correct?
Right.
So each person just go quickly and say who they would rather have, and maybe a brief explanation.
Question: Is this our franchise player as our number one best player on the team?
Yes.
I thought we was burning as far as like what point guard was first.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I mean, if it's the best player on the team, Westbrook. But as far as just in general, like to me, Kyrie showed when he was playing with LeBron. I mean, they won a championship. You know,
well, that's what I'm saying. If you're putting him with LeBron, yeah, Kyrie. But if you're asking this guy to be the number one throughout the whole season, it's kind of hard to put him.
I mean, I would definitely say Westbrook as well. Back when his mid-range jumper was automatic.
Ooh, that mid-range. He would just dribble up. He'll pop that mid-range like 14 feet. Oh,
like nothing. Come off the screen, stop in no man's land, and just pop it. It was damn near. Listen, it was to a point where, like, man, if he hit his first jumper, you knew it was going to be a long damn day. It was about to be a long damn day because he was just going to keep stopping in no man's land and just keep popping that jumper. Then when you try to blitz him, he'll just split it, get to the rim, try to tear it down. Like, man, he was a nightmare. It was wild.
I forgot about that mid-range jumper he had.
I'm split between Kyrie and Westbrook, but I would have to get the edge to Westbrook just based on his intangibles, especially how he, as far as who he is as a teammate. Like Russ is there for his team, no matter what. He gonna put himself on the line, and what he did for the Clippers right now is like, fuck it, I'll come off the bench. Nobody want to volunteer. Like he'll do that. Kyrie, as much you love him, like he don't know if he gonna be there after damn time. Like he might skip out for a rally. He might skip out to help a fundraiser.
Yeah.
So it's all well and good. Like you just don't know what he's gonna do for his teammates, especially what he did for Boston in Boston years. So,
like as a person, like those things that you mentioned that Kyrie might skip out for, just as a human being, it's like, oh man, that's awesome. But if we're just speaking about basketball, it's like, yo, bro, we need you to be here, though. Yeah, we need you at work. We need you to clock in.
Russell Westbrook plays hard 82 games. That's one thing. Even when people were talking mad shit about him when he was on the Lakers because he couldn't hit a three to play his life, which is true, but he never took a playoff.
Never cheated us.
He was only one of the big three that showed up.
And me and Wilson, we always joke about this. Remember, for whatever reason, he didn't play in the bubble, right? So they stopped playing in February. And then the bubble resumed in the summer. So he basically had like 6 to almost 8 months off. And that's when he went to Brooklyn. And then like 2 weeks into the season, he needed a week off. I'll never forget that, bro. Like, what the hell is he doing that he needs a week off? I wouldn't be able to trust him as a number one. But
yeah.
Are you do you wish the Lakers would have went all in to sign him?
No.
Everything
that you just Kyrie.
No,
you can't trust him.
You got to give up too much.
It's more so, just
like, why did he play? Why did he play on
strictly
Christmas?
basketball.
What the hell was he doing sitting on the bench during the Christmas game? Like, just some nagging.
I have no idea. Like, I didn't hear he was injured. I have no idea.
What, yesterday?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Kyrie's been injured. I thought he's been injured lately.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's been injured. Dante Exum's taking his minutes.
Yeah, he's been injured.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how legit? Like, he's injured every year for like 3 weeks, a month.
That's the thing too. I mean, whether it be physical injury related or non-basketball related, he's gonna miss a lot of games during the season. So for that reason, I'm out.
All right, so quickly right here at the end, Mitch wanted to talk about this too. I think Dr. Umar going on Joe Budden's podcast, saying that Eminem is basically disqualified from the GOAT debate in hip hop because he's white. Basically, Dr. Umar was saying, and he actually he was spitting when he said, "Man, I can't go to Israel and be the best at anything." That's true, right? Could any of us go to Israel and be the best at anything? Of course not. But it's like skill wise.
But
huh?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he could go to India and or Israel and be the best at something.
I'll put it like this.
But would he be recognized as the best? Is what I think what he said.
I'll put it like this. Everybody knows Tina Marie is white, right?
Tina Marie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yes.
I know.
Do you ever everybody say, I love Tina Marie, but I can't fuck with her because she's white?
Didn't you say that?
No, I never said that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You missed it. Kenny G. Do you ever say, no, Kenny G cool, but I can't fuck with him because he's white?
Michael
It's almost like, go ahead.
You know what Dr. Marsh should have said? I mean, Joe Budden should have told him. All right, so name another rapper that could go bar for bar, maybe even beat him in his own track, depending on who you ask, like Jay-Z. I mean, on that Renegade record, if they would have just brought up that record and been like, what other rapper could do that to Jay-Z? Nobody. Maybe Nas, maybe.
Well, but the thing about it,
rappers put him in a top 3, top 5. So it's like, if they're doing it, how are you not gonna do it?
Me and Wilson spoken about this. The problem, the only thing with Eminem, a lot of his music is not very relatable though. It's it's just music. But as an MC,
but you can't talk about the same thing other rappers talk about. Yeah. Like, you can't say he bang because he don't bang. You can't use the N-word out of respect because of who he works with and all that.
I mean, the thing I think that some kids may not understand now is that you can always, and Eminem is still a dope lyricist today. He's incredible. And he always has been. But the things that I think these kids might understand is like the number of records that he sold was basically, I mean, it other than like Michael Jackson, I mean, it was literally, I mean, like he called himself like the Elvis Presley of rap. And he really was. If we were kids back then, we were like, adolescents. We were like 12 to 14. And this dude was the biggest thing in music. This guy was a true superstar, going diamond on these albums, multiple diamond albums. The Marshall Mathers LP, they have been the like seminal rap album of the aughts, as they call it.
Everything he touched was even 8 Mile as an actor and as a movie. That was, I mean, bro, everybody was freestyling after that movie.
It wasn't, and
it
wasn't making because of an 8 Mile based sitcom, by the way.
It wasn't because
he's working on it right now.
What was the rapper? The guy who turned into the Marvel?
Aaron Mackey, whatever.
No, but in the movie, what was his rap name?
Papa Doc.
Papa Doc. Ain't nobody freestyling because of Papa Doc. It was because of B Rabbit.
Yeah.
I think his real name is Clarence.
And his parents had a real good marriage. That's so funny that of all the whole diss, that was the one thing that got people like riled up.
Oh man.
That's a great point, Alex. That movie, like the fact that in the prime of his career, he was so big, and he went off and to make this movie, which I think Kim Basinger, who played his mom, she was nominated for an Oscar for that movie. Mm-hmm. So this guy that's like Ice Cube went off. That's kind of like Ice Cube doing Boys in the Hood, which John Singleton won an Oscar for or was nominated. But I mean Eminem in every way, as far as record sales, skill level, popularity. I mean, but Dr. Umar, the thing about Dr. Umar is I don't even think Dr. Umar really pretends to be an objective observer. Dr. Umar is just a pure, he's like a racist, basically, like a reverse racist, So, like I said,
he's not reverse racist, but he gonna stand on what he stands on, what he believes in. Some things I agree with, some things I don't, and that is like okay, you can knock him because he's white, but you can't, as far as talent wise, you can't look at him and be like, no, he's not top 3 or even worse top 10.
That's almost like saying you can't put Larry Bird.
Yeah, exactly.
10. And
exactly.
The thing is, Luka is basically, remember before Luka, everybody saying was like Larry Bird wouldn't have been able to be this because he was too slow and he wasn't athletic. And look at Luka, bro. This dude is killing the game, and he's slow. It looks like I'm faster than him out there. He's not athletic, and he moves in slow motion.
He don't. Like, can
you even throw Dirk in there? Like, you can't knock Dirk either.
Well, I always remember when my uncle said, remember when the Heatles, that was their first year together, when they lost to that Mavericks in the finals, and everybody was rooting for everybody was like, the Dirk Nowitzki is our last chance because everybody was rooting against the Heat. And my uncle said that he compared Dirk Nowitzki to Tarzan, this white hero. Everybody was rooting for him to beat. But but Eminem, you can never take away from what this man has done in hip hop.
Yeah, that was that whole Heatles era was, that was LeBron's villain era right there.
Huh. And crazy part about this whole thing is M don't say nothing to nobody, but yet there's always somebody like questioning his name in hip hop. Like there's always somebody just trying to discredit him. He doesn't say nothing but just making music and go about it.
The real ones know, though. The real ones know. Like, real ones know Eminem is clearly in the top. When you're talking about the best rappers of all time, you gotta mention Eminem. You
top
take
5
him
or
his
top
skin.
10? Top 5 or top 10?
If you want to, you don't want to give him his credit for his record sales, no credit for his lyrics. Give him his credit as an executive. He's the one who found 50 Cent.
Yeah, he's done so much.
Yeah.
And top 5, dead or alive. Ooh,
I think so.
I have him second all time, dead or alive, behind only Jay-Z.
Top 5, I got Kanye, Jay-Z, Eminem, Tupac, and shit. Gotta think about number 5.
And my 5 is J, M, and then Nas, Tupac, Biggie, in whatever order I decide on that day. It changes. But that's my top. That's a
Tupac, Biggie, M, Cube, Jay-Z.
It's a good one.
Listen, I'm not gonna take all this disrespect. How is Kanye not in y'all top 5?
Cypress Hill.
Kanye is not even on my radar, bro.
Cypress Hill,
Kanye lost
Joe,
that.
Big Pun, Pitbull, and Lil Ron.
Lil
all
Rob.
the Spanish dudes. All the Spanish dudes.
Y'all was Spanish.
Kanye lost that. I'm sorry.
Now it's basically M, Biggie, Pac, Nas, Jay-Z.
Whose discography can stand up to Kanye's? Honestly,
I'm just saying as a rapper. I mean, as an artist.
As far as
what?
what, artist, or what we talking about here?
he is an artist. He's almost more than a rapper at this point. Like,
If we talking
Top
artist,
five-
Michael Jackson.
Top 5 rapper, no. Top 5 artists, yes.
But look, guys.
I accept
him as
that,
a pro-
Travis.
And I put him as
that.
I saw a stat. I saw a
Top
stat
5
last
producer
night.
too.
Michael Jackson is in it said top 10 album sales. He's on the list 3 times.
Yeah. Thriller,
1, 3, and 10.
Yeah.
Well, nobody. I mean, I'm definitely. I mean, listen, like Michael Jackson all day. Like that's not a question, right? That shouldn't be a question.
You talk about discography.
But
I
look,
was talking about rap, but I was talking about rappers.
Yeah,
If we talking about rapping,
but wait, guys.
if you're
Jay-Z,
gonna say top
Guys,
selling, you gotta put Will Smith on there too. That's fucking. If you do top selling,
Will Smith got one hot album.
No, but if you
Listen,
do top selling
you got-
rappers, Will Smith.
Oh,
is on
top selling. Oh, got you.
I have to
Just
tell
like
you, but I have to tell you guys something though. It's over. Mitch, don't you have something that you have to say to an old friend of ours?
Listen, Herbert was gonna come on here and tell y'all how Kanye is in his top 5 rappers of all time, as well as Eminem. He was gonna say,
and how you agree with me about Joker.
shut up, Kanye. Listen, I'm not gonna stand for this. Hold on.
We gotta go.
listen,
We gotta go.
Hold on. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry, Herbert. We ran out of time. Shane Murray distracting us with his Kanye slander. Now, roll the credits.
So, so sorry, Herbert, and as always, and then
Now, I'm ready to fight about this.
Before we get out of here, just a few reminders.
Like, nobody can stand.
If you're watching this on YouTube,
Kanye's
hit that subscribe button next to the
Kanye lost it,
podcast.
man.
His
If you
artistry.
prefer the audio version, remember to
I feel like
Kanye
almost
The show is
revitalized
also on
Jay-Z
Anchor,
as a rapper.
Spotify, Google
Kanye not it,
Podcasts,
man.
Stitcher,
Yes, he is.
iHeartRadio, and every other major
Don't play
podcast.
around with this.
Make sure to follow the
Musically?
show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network and to like it on Facebook.
Bro,
Just search for the Complete Radio
Kanye
Podcast. And
made
finally,
Jay-Z change up his
send
whole
feedback and mailbag
Right.
questions to Complete
Look
Radio
at
Who's
Podcast
Kanye, bro?
Hold on.
at gmail.com.
Look at Jay-Z's
are
covers.
Who's